Title sequences are a common convention in both feature-length and short films. However, the length of the sequence in a short film is typically very short, normally showing only the name of the film or sometimes the director. Our title sequence, on the other hand, challenges this initial perception of short films, as its duration is 55 seconds long, which would more likely be the length of a feature-length film. We opted for this length of time as it helps create an element of mystery, which is the chosen genre of the film. We have achieved this mysterious effect by using a series of fading transitions to cover up proportions of a map. We felt that this was effective as it helps the audience engage, wondering what they are going to see and will have no idea what the film will actually be about. Montages are a common convention of films. This is especially seen in short films as it shows a quicker passage of time. This montage is created by using quick sections of footage from a series of linked together with straight cuts to show our character's whole morning routine in 30 seconds. The montage includes continuing filming, which is another convention of film. It stitches the audience into the reality of the film and prevents them from realising that they are actually watching a non-fictional story. The very fact that we show the character's morning routine sets the scene nicely, as it suggests the character is slightly eccentric, which we felt was a critical feature to portray a sense of the character's personality. It is also common in short films to have a narrator speaking over a montage, as this helps set the scene quickly and effectively. However, we decided to go against this convention and not include a narrator. We chose to do this as we believed that if the audience did not know much about our character or his background, a sense of mystery would be created, thus linking into our genre. In this shot, you can see the main character engaged in his morning routine. We thought that if we simply showed our character getting changed, the film would not flow effectively and a lot of time would be wasted. To prevent this, we used a series of jump cuts throughout this period. We achieved this by removing an item of clothing off the bed which represents him getting changed. An advantage of this is it creates a more stylistic look to the film. This is not typical of real media products, as jump cuts tend to break up the continuity, as a result disorientating the audience. However, due to the brief of the task, we thought it would be necessary to use this type of editing, not only to look tasteful, but to maximise our time. This shot shows the camera placed inside a cupboard. The intended purpose of this shot was to keep the audience focused on the main character rather than the object he has taken from the cupboard. We feel this is important as short films do not allow as much time as feature-length films to identify the character. This uses the convention of short films because it clearly keeps the story character-based rather than narrative-based. This is because the focus remains solely on the character, which is demonstrated in this shot as the focus has never shifted. Here you can see the character about to leave his house. In this we use a variety of close-ups and mid-shots. This is typical of film form as it exploits the footage from different angles to keep the flow and interest going. We signify the character receiving a text by using the standard text notification tone. This can be seen as phonological iconography, as the audience would instantly identify that he has received the text. This allowed us to experiment how to show the context of the text that the character received. We decided to create an on-screen box after being inspired by the effectiveness of it being used in Channel 4's soap opera Hollyoaks. This is not typical of real media products, as generally a close-up of the phone screen would be used instead. The shop scene is where you see the character at work. While sorting through papers, he comes across a map. The use of a point of view shot can be seen as typical of media products, as it highlights the significance of the map, which narrative theorist Vladimir Prop would describe as the magical object. An example of this in real media products can be seen in The Lord of the Rings, as the ring is always shown from a high-angle shot, mainly through point of view, to show its importance over anything else in the scene. We have taken the same approach when viewing our map. One of the main conventions of film that is each scene is established using a master shot. We decided to challenge this convention as we wanted to create an element of mystery to link in with our genre. We believed that a simple way of doing this would be hiding the details about where the character works or where the map came from. An over-the-action shot is used to view the character swiping items off his desk. We included this shot to highlight the importance of the map in comparison to other things in his life. Furthermore, to show this obsession, we used a graphic match of the window to show the passage of time from night to morning. This graphic match is a typical convention of real media products, as it is a quick, simple technique to show time moving. Also in this montage, we decided to use a variety of angles and shots to show that a lot of things are happening in a short amount of time. This is also a common convention in film, as it is an interesting way of conveying multiple pieces of research quickly. The tunnel scene is the climax to the film, as the character becomes aware that the map is over. To illustrate the character's frustration to the audience, we use a series of quick cuts to show the text, "Map ends here." This is an effective way to portray this emotion without focusing on his facial expression, as the cuts appear frantic, which depict his mindset. This goes against general media conventions, as character emotions are normally portrayed by themselves. We felt, however, that we wanted to challenge the convention and tried to create a more stylistic and imaginative shot. When the character slumps down against the tunnel wall, we purposely sat him in a ray of sunlight. This was because it connotes hope and is also a visual indication to the audience that there is light at the end of the tunnel. The finale to the film sees the character find his treasure. As he approaches his final destination, we use a fade to represent the fact that he's been pursuing the treasure for a long time. In essence, it is also an effective way to save time and keep the audience engaged with the film, as they are not constantly seeing him walking. This is typical of film form, as the audience won't lose touch with the narrative and will remain sutured into the film. To continue the generic conventions of mystery, we ensure that the character don't know why he is at the house until the very last shot. This is important because it maintains the criteria of the chosen genre. The radio trailer for our film follows the conventions of real media products. An example of this can be found with the voiceover we have. Like real media products, the voice we have duplicates the voice of God. We believe this is an important feature to the trailer because it emphasises the importance of the film and makes listeners attentive to what is being said. Our radio trailer includes information about the film's release dates, actors and directors, and a tagline along with a brief synopsis of the film and its genre. These are all conventions of real media products, as it informs the target audience of everything they need to know in a short space of time. We feel that our film needs all of the criteria of the radio trailer because it's fast-paced and very informative. The music we use mirrors what we would find in a radio trailer for a similar genre. This is due to the quirky soundtrack we use, thus teamed with a range of sound effects throughout the synopsis part of the trailer, which hints elements of mystery to the audience, as the audience don't know why sound effects such as helicopters and car screeches are being used. Our magazine article follows magazine generic conventions, including a tagline, a verdict, a basic plot analysis, and a review. The verdict is displayed at the end of the review and is shown in an italic font. This is conventional of magazines, as it shortly summarises the writer's opinion on the film. There is a main picture of the character in a key part of the film, which fills the top of the page. This follows the generic conventions of a real media product, as it catches the reader's eye and sutures them in to read about the film. Our tagline, basically a supercut of every walking scene in The Lord of the Rings, gives a comedic edge to the article, which features intertextuality, which as a result allows the audience to engage with it. This is common in magazine reviews, as they are written to entertain.